Peace, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Undisputed Spit. I'm your host, Romello Skuggs. And today we have a very special guest. I know this brother for a long time. I'm a fan of his work of Goats and Rings podcast. He's a football connoisseur. My brother, Walt Stringer. How you doing, my brother?
I'm all good, man. I'm all good. What's cracking with you?
Yeah, man. Tell people where they can find you, man. See your best work, man. See you in action.
Well, for sure, you can find me also on Facebook. The actual name, Walter Stringer. You can find me on Instagram at WS_4Mayor. That's the actual number 4. That's WS_4Mayor. You can also find me on YouTube. Type in Goats and Rings and boom, it'll pop straight up. Simple enough.
Yes, man. Yes. This is bound to happen, man. I'm a fan of your work, and you've been a supporter of Undisputed Spit. You share it all the time and to it, man. I knew you for a minute. You know what I'm saying? This is bound to happen, man.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan, man. Huge fan. I love because you don't get a lot of solid boxing content. You get a lot of people who just sit around and they talk about, just the sexy fighters. Y'all dig into real boxing, man. And y'all actually know what y'all talking about. So I like that and I love it and I follow it.
Thank you, man. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. But today we got some boxing news, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to share with you. You know what I'm saying? We here now, so live in the flesh. But what I want to start off first, the fight with Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. Keith Thurman got the unanimous decision in a dominant fashion. Does his victory with Mario Barrios gives him a title shot with the title holders, Errol Spence Jr., Bud Crawford, or Eugenio Ugas? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm kind of conflicted on it because on one half, I think it's kind of like it should be Thurman, I guess, by default. You look at Thurman's history. I understand Thurman had a couple years off, but Thurman never looked bad to me. Thurman had some fights where he looked like he kind of regressed or he might have been overwhelmed by a certain fighter. That happens in boxing. Styles make fights. I don't think he was as bad in the Pacquiao fight as people try to make him out to be. I think he had his moments. Pacquiao had his moments, but at the end of the day, I think Pacquiao had more moments. Now, as far as Barrios, it's weird because, Barrios came from featherweight, super featherweight. And then, given the fact that Tank stopped him, Tank knocked him out. Yeah. And then, I expected Thurman. I don't want to nitpick the win, but it's like you won by unanimous decision, but I kind of feel like you should have stopped.
True.
It would have made more sense if you would have stopped him. So now it's like, 2 years off is a lot of time off, man. And you look at the age that he's at, and you consider the fact that, and I understand Spence has his issues right now too with the detached retina and everything, and he been taking some time off too. He had the car accident, but Spence is a machine. At the end of the day, Spence is a machine. And it's like, if you couldn't really stop Barrios, what you gonna do with Errol? Errol is a bigger fighter. He's a rangier fighter. He's a southpaw, and Errol gonna put the pressure on you. He can put the pressure on you. And I understand Thurman, he's bright, very bright when it comes to boxing. He's had videos where he broke down Spence pretty much clearly, but we've seen guys talk that game about Spence, then when they get in the ring, it's a different story, Kell Brook learned firsthand. Sean Porter learned firsthand. Danny Garcia learned firsthand. All those guys said that once they got in the ring, it was a completely different story. You have to understand that Spence is a big dude. You can kind of feel his presence on you, and his work rate is outrageous when he's in the ring. So I think he's a lot to deal with. I'm not sure if at this point in time, maybe if Thurman never would have had the hand injury and Thurman wouldn't have took those 2 years off, he would have stayed sharp and he would have kept that pop, but he don't have the pop. So I don't know if he can really keep Spence off his ass if he don't have that pop. I'm not even sure if he can handle Ugas. I'm not sure if he can really handle Ugas right now either.
That's, I mean, what you said, man, that was a great point. That's a very great point. To me, in my opinion, this don't move the needle at all because, like you said, Barrios is not a natural welterweight. He had to move up to fight him. So, yeah, so this victory was expected, but like you just said again, he's supposed to knock him out. I mean, he dominated every damn round. So I'm like, are you gonna knock him out? Are you toying with the person, or I don't know what you're doing, because I have to follow Sean Porter, and I like his podcast as well, The Porter Way.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, basically he was saying like, okay, he don't have no killer instinct, and Sean Porter is right. He's absolutely right. He never had like that killer instinct, like I'm about to take this guy's head off. I'm better than him. You know what I'm saying? And he's up, and this guy I'm fighting is overmatched to me. So, you know what I'm saying? I can just take him out anytime I want, but he doesn't have that. Yeah, he can talk good, you know what I'm saying, whatever or whatnot, but he just don't have it to me. I'm not saying he's not skilled or nothing like that. Yeah, I think I'm conflicted too about the title shot because he has been away, but he do got cachet in that division though, because
true.
He do, and I was a fan of him. I really was, but then we started taking years off. Then he just, I don't know, he's interested in me no more. He wasn't very interesting. So, but again, I think he need another fight to me, and it got to be a quality opponent. Like when I was on your podcast, you know what I'm saying, when we were talking about it, he need to fight like Jared Boots Anus. He need to fight
that ain't happening, bro.
No, he gonna do that.
I don't even think
he need to fight that, because if he fights Boots, he fights Ortiz, anybody in the top 10 of the division, not somebody trying to come up and fight him, then that will get him in the door of the Ugas and Spence and all that.
It's high risk, brother.
But that's the game, though. That is the game. That's the game.
If he get in the ring with Boots and Boots put the boots on him,
but speaking
ain't no coming back. Ain't no coming back from that.
Oh, it's not. I mean, Boots, he's my kind of like fighter. First of all, from Philly, and Philly got that. It's that
strong boy, man.
By Philly, man. You know what I'm saying? Danny Garcia from Philly, Boots from Philly. Bernard Hopkins from Philly, Joe Frazier from Philly, and Mildred Taylor. It's like so many boxing prodigies is from that city, and he comes with that spirit, that fighting spirit. So I don't know. He gonna fight Boots. Yeah, he gonna probably troll him on the internet or something and all that, but he ain't gonna fight Boots. But he need to fight either Porter again. I would like to see that if he could get Porter out of retirement. Also, he could fight Danny Garcia again. So, and those fights between those two was close. I mean, he got the victory. I agree with that, but it was close fights. I don't mind seeing a rematch of them. So, to get to the next tier of championship bouts, because Errol was trying to get him when Errol was coming up, trying to get at Keith Thurman. He was trying to get at him. So,
like Boots kind of is right now. Like Boots is scratching at everybody's heels, but I feel the same way about Boots. Like, I understood what Sean Porter's comments was. People blew it out of proportion when he's quote unquote called him overrated. He wasn't saying he was overrated skill wise or as a fighter. It's the fact that you undefeated, but you ain't beat nobody. Mm-hmm. That's the whole thing about it. Now you ran roughshod through everybody since a professional that you done got in the ring with, but you ain't fought nobody. Now, to Boots' credit, y'all don't want to fight him. Like not Crawford, but Sean came out himself and said, "Hey, listen, I ain't scared of him. I'll beat him, but why would I run the risk of going 12 rounds with this young boy, and after that, everybody looking at me sideways?" So it's like it ain't worth it. I mean,
you got a point. You got a point on that.
But it's like, okay, Porter, you can feel that way, but after what happened with Terence, is like, would you really go 12 rounds with Boots? I ain't so sure it would go 12 rounds. You know, but I mean, Terence is a different animal too, though.
Yeah, that's to me, that's a bad idea. But Porter is a tough boy. He's a tough out for anybody. He may get knocked out, or you know what I'm saying, they may stop it or whatever. But he's a tough bull because, like I told you, like Bud's my favorite fighter right now. Bud was having a little trouble with Porter at first. You know what I'm saying? It was just kind of like a chess match, but then that's where the versatility comes in with Bud, whatever. Hey, he figured it out, and the rest is history. So that's, you know, but speaking of Spence and Ugas and the division, it was an announcement this week on Errol Spence Jr.'s IG page that he's having a fight with Yordenis Ugas on April 16th for the Unification bout.
AT&T.
Yes, that's where Errol Spence is from. Errol Spence is the WBC champion, and Yordenis Ugas is the WBA champion. The sole controller of that, because it was friction that he was a regular champion and Manny Pacquiao was a super champion, and he handled his business against Pacquiao. So now he's the whole WBA champion now. So this is a good fight that's been signed and ready to go. I want to know what's your thoughts on that.
Man, I'm a big Spence guy. Big Crawford guy. Would love to see those two dudes clash. Ugas is kind of boring to me, man. I respect him as a fighter. I respect him as a counterpuncher. But I just think Errol a different animal. If Errol's healthy, nobody's stopping Errol. Errol is the Terence. I think Terence is the one guy that can give Errol some problems. I think Errol is the one guy that can give Terence some problems also.
True.
But as far as Ugas, like I don't even care if you were that great of a counterpuncher. And Danny Garcia is an excellent counterpuncher, and Danny can crack harder than Ugas. And Spence pretty much walked through Danny. Now, I mean, I would say those first four rounds when Spence was still throwing the power jab out there though, but it was still kind of filling them out because Danny would catch him with a couple, and it's like, okay, you know, let me calm this down a little bit. But the amount of pressure Errol puts on you, if you can't handle that pressure, and he's accurate to the body too. And going back to Keith, if Keith can't handle them body punches, it's gonna be a short night, and Errol gonna come with him.
Mario Barrios, he had him I think it was the 8th round, 8th or 7th. It won the rounds that Mario Barrios hit him in the body. Thurman kind of cringed a little bit. I mean, he took it, but he took it. Imagine if Errol hit him with that.
We said Manny cracked him. Well, Manny can pop. Everybody know Manny can pop though.
Yeah,
but I think he's gonna be too much. I think Ugas is gonna catch Errol, but I don't think he's got enough power really to keep Errol off of him. You know, so I think he'll wear Ugas down. I don't think he'll stop him. I'll be shocked if he stopped him. But I think Errol, he'll outwork him, and he'll probably win by unanimous.
Ooh. Oh. Okay.
You a bigger Ugas fan than me.
No. Well,
maybe not a fan.
I'm not a fan, but I like him. Like, I'm not like a, oh my God, Ugas. I'm a Bud fan, and I'm a Spence fan too, but I like Bud better. But Ugas, man, this is lightweight 50-50, lightweight, because I look at Ugas against Porter and I look at Ugas against Pacquiao. Like, between those two fights, he just got better and better and better. Counterpunching is boring, but here's the take on it. Ugas be moving. He's a mover. He's from Cuban. I mean, from Cuba, but he comes from that Cuban school. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you in your podcast from Arizona, Landy Laura, you know what I'm saying? They like to move and they avoid getting hit. You know what I'm saying? But the thing with Ugas, whatever, He moves, but he counter you too. When you coming, he counter you, move. You know what I'm saying? He's a mover. It may be a little boring, whatever. He's not the action-packed like Spence and Bud and et cetera, et cetera. He's not that. He's just more of a disciplined fighter, and that does get boring at times, but he's not as boring. Nah, Errol Laura, he's boring. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't he hit maybe once or twice, and he just running around the ring all damn day. It's boring. Everybody hate to fight him. That's why he don't get fights. But we speaking on Ugas, but Ugas is a mover, and I would give Spence the edge. I will, but again, Spence haven't been fighting. He's not active. That concerns me a little bit. This is not Danny Garcia when he's flat-footed and he's not moving and all. He just at the target. But again, Ugas be moving and all that stuff. And his victory against Manny Pacquiao really opened my eyes. First, it opened my eyes a little bit against Porter. But Porter's like a wrestler type, but he still can fight. But Manny Pacquiao, we gotta remember this. He was the replacement for Spence, of that fight. And I look at that. As a matter of fact, I had to look at it 2 days ago before I started this episode with you. So I had to really look at it, and he really dominated that fight. And I was like, wow, like, I don't know, man. Go ahead.
Well, let me ask you this. A lot of people didn't really give Ugas a lot of credit for beating Manny. Deserved, maybe undeserved. I think a lot of people felt that Manny was kind of on his way out, and Ugas is not on his way out. Ugas is still pretty much in his prime right now. So overall, when you watched that fight against Manny, what did you think? Did you think it was more or less Manny wasn't the Manny no more? Because I'm not sure if he would have caught Manny, if he would have caught the Manny that beat the brakes off Jeff Horn, even though Jeff Horn got, he got home cooking in that fight, but I'm not so sure he got the Manny that we all thought we was getting. But I mean, I thought Spence was gonna stop Manny. I thought Errol was too big and too aggressive for Manny. But it'd have been strange because that's two active southpaws. But I thought Manny was undersized. And I think Spence size gives people issues.
True. That's true. That's definitely true. To answer your question, I'm at the middle of the road with it. Because first, I think Manny was prepared for Spence. But when Spence had to detach retina or whatever, and he had to cancel, and Ugas was the next in line, and he had 2 weeks to prepare for it. That is hard as hell to do because you don't know what this person is going to bring to the table. It reminded me of the remember the Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz fight? He was supposed to fight who was that? Was it Dylan White? He was supposed to fight one of them. I think it was Dylan White, but he got caught for drugs, whatever. He was positive. So Andy Ruiz stepped up, and you don't know what he's breaking, and he knocked Anthony Joshua out. It was kind of like that. And my brother said it. He said it. He was like, this is a dangerous fight because it's a 2-week notice, and you don't know the opponent like that. You don't know. Yeah. So, and I was like, I don't know, that's true, but Manny been in this position before. He's experienced, he's a legend, he's a Hall of Famer. I'm a big fan of him. So Manny got this. But then when I saw it, it was just he was overwhelmed. He couldn't figure it out. His timing was off. And
yeah.
So and I'm like, I really can't give it a definitive answer because I could go both ways with it. I could go Ugas definitely deserved his victory. He definitely deserved it. You know what I'm saying? He do. You know what I'm saying? Much credit to him. But then you got to look at the Pacquiao situation. Like, he didn't really prepare for it. If it was like longer, I think Manny would have been prepared for Ugas. It was longer, but it was a 2-week thing. So that kind of like, you know what I'm saying, made this shit kind of difficult. So I'm leaning them. I think I'm leaning towards Manny wasn't his best. I'm leaning towards that.
Yeah. But The comment on Ruiz, man, and I like Ruiz. Ruiz skill. Ruiz can punch. He like him and David Benavidez. Like those are two dudes. I feel like dog. Like if y'all would just take your body serious and really get in shape, you dudes could be special. Benavidez can be a hitman out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think Benavidez will ever get into the shape that he needs to. Because I don't think he run enough, for one thing. I don't think he run enough. You can tell by his body he don't really run enough. Ruiz, too. I know Ruiz been in Canelo's camp for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I just want to see the best of him, man. I wasn't surprised that he beat Joshua that first time. Cause I'm like, I said the same thing. I'm like, dude, like, Ruiz got skill and Ruiz can crack. Yeah, now, I'm not so sure about Joshua. I'm like, Joshua is kind of, I don't want to call him soft because I heard guys call him soft. I just think I'll take Floyd Mayweather's opinion when he said he lacks that dog in him.
Actually, that's a great point. Like to me, with Anthony Joshua, I always said Anthony Joshua can be the best boxer in the heavyweight division. He can. He got size. He got jab. He got things. He got tools to be that. But what is his Achilles heel? His Achilles heel, he trying to be the dog like he tried to go for the knockout, whatever. But guess what? If you go for the knockout and the pit bull, guess what? You got to have a chance because you defenseless. If you just keep going, and hit him in the face and all that, and going for the knockout because you open. You very much open. You're not blocking. You're going straight forward. So, and we all know he doesn't have a chance at all. He got that glass jar because Andy Ruiz knocked him out. Usyk, he troubled him many times, especially the 12th round that fight. So, again, Anthony Joshua just don't use his tools. He can jab. He can box. He's kind of improved because he used to be stationary. But when he fought Andy Ruiz the second time, that was the most perfect Anthony Joshua fight. I said, if he could fight like that, he was disciplined, didn't go for the knockout till it was ready. He didn't go for the knockout. He was just disciplined, jabbing him, using his size. Use your size to your advantage. Use your jabs. Andy Ruiz shorter than you. What do you do with a taller fighter and a shorter fighter? You jab him. Keep him away. Keep him at bay. Keep him at distance. That's what you got to do. And that's what he did the second fight. He was more disciplined. And he was the perfect fight on that fight. On that night, he won every round to me. Even though Andy Ruiz was kind of like overweight and didn't take it seriously. But like you said, if he take his body seriously and take his training seriously and like 100%, Andy Ruiz is no joke. I mean, the fight his only loss is against Joshua and Joseph Parker, and that was kind of like either way. So again, but enough of that. It was another fight that was announced this past week. Shakura Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. Unification, super featherweight. Oscar Valdez is the current WBC champion, and Shakura Stevenson is the WBO champion right now. That fight was announced. That's April 30th, 2 weeks after Spence and Ugas. What are your thoughts on that? And I know you're a Shakura Stevenson guy.
Yeah. Big Shakura Stevenson guy too. I call him Mini Spence, man. Like
Mini Spence? Ooh, I call him Mini Bud because they homeboys and they train together.
Dude, like the aggression that Shakura fights with, the disciplined aggression. He stays with the high guard. He a southpaw. He loved throwing that lead left. He goes to the body. He knows how to work the body, then come back up top. And he knows how to smother you too. He got long arms. In most cases, he's the bigger fighter in a lot of situations too. And he's not even in his prime yet. I think Shakur is about 4 years away from really being technically considered in his prime.
Yeah, he's 22.
Yeah.
22. Yeah, 22 years old.
Yeah, and we talking about about almost a 7-year difference in age. Valdez different. I like Valdez too. He'll smother you. He'll bully. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah. It's a very interesting contrast of styles because both of those dudes will get bullheaded. Shakura got the legs, and we all know the first thing to go in the boxer is his legs, man. Shakura legs are serious. His legs are serious. I think he's in the best shape of his life. He take his career serious, and if he goes out there and he dominates Valdez, I don't think he necessarily needs to dominate, but that's pretty much what he likes to do. If he goes out there and he dominates Valdez and gives him that loss, what really bothers me is the fact that, and I'm gonna sound old when I say this, but our generation of boxers, the young dudes coming up, they all got in the pen with each other and they scrapped it out with each other.
Exactly, facts.
These young dudes don't want to fight each other. They all want the big paydays, and I understand they want to chase the big paydays. Their attitude is, if I risk that, don't nobody want to risk that zero. And I think that's the big thing. That's the big thing. But, even Teofimo and Javante and Shakur and Devin and all these boys, and even to a lesser degree, Ryan Garcia. But because Ryan looking like a chump to me, man. I don't like you don't. It seemed like you more impressed with. Hey, Canelo came out and said the boy don't take it serious. You more preoccupied with being on Instagram shirtless and beating up on a speed bag. Like that's not, or that ain't where it's at, brother. And I like Ryan. I think Ryan brings a different set of tools. His skill set is different to in comparison to the rest of the dudes. Ryan tall, Ryan long, he rangy, he fast as hell. He can throw the hooks from any platform. And Ryan dangerous. He ain't as skilled as the rest of the guys, but Ryan dangerous as hell. Kind of like on some Tommy Hearns type of situation.
Good comparison. Good comparison.
But I like Shakur, man. I think it's Shakur time right now.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. Oscar Valdez, he can't smother you. He got some power too. But also he got some discipline issues too. Because his last fight, he was not disciplined at all. I can't pronounce dude's name, but that fight could win either way. It really could. And they gave Valdez the decision. I kind of know what that's about because that decision was about this fight right here. You know what I'm saying? Shakura Stevenson coming up too. And Shakura Stevenson, he beat Jamel Herring. That was the most perfect fight I saw last year. That was the most flawless fight. I mean, we saw his power. We saw his precision. We saw his discipline. I saw everything in the twist of the trail of that fight. I thought it was gonna be closer than that, but he dominated the shit out of Jamel Herring like crazy. Yeah. Like it stopped him too. I think he won every round. The field could have been questionable a little bit, and I'm just being nice, but Shakura Stevenson is special, man. It's like, he's that versatile guy. He can beat you with defense. He can beat you counter punching. His angles is good. He's a southpaw too. I think he's orthodox though, but he can fight in southpaw stance. He can do different things. Just like his homeboy Bud. You know what I'm saying? They can do different things. He can be the pit boy. He can be the technician. He can be whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? To get the job done. And when boxers are versatile, they hard to game plan on because you don't know what they bring it to the table. So you don't know what arsenal they throwing at you. So again, for bullies, you got to box him. I think he go and box Valdez. If he smell blood in the water, he'll go for it. But I think Shakur gonna be, you know what I'm saying, the tactical fighter. You know what I'm saying, the technical fighter. Yeah. He's gonna, you know what I'm saying. That's how you gonna get his rhythm and his pace. So I'm gonna go with Shakura Stevenson as well. I think it is his time, and I think after this fight, I don't think he got nothing left to prove in 130. I think he'll go to the 135, where the big money going to be at. You got your Lomachenko's, you got your David Haney's, you got your Ryan Garcia, Mikey Garcia. You got Tio, even though he disappointed me right now. And you got George Cambosis. He's beat Teofimo. So yeah, that's the money there. I think they trying to set up Lomachenko and Shakura Stevenson. They gonna set that up. I see that coming. They both were top ranked. Yeah, Bob Arum's the CEO of Top Rank, and I think he gonna set that up. It was Shakura Stevenson take care of business against Oscar Valdez. I think got nothing left to prove in one. So
ain't Lomachenko kind of screaming out Gervonta Davis' name a lot?
I mean, everybody trying to get Gervonta, to be honest.
Tank too dangerous to me, though.
Tank, man. Tank, okay. Tank, his power is lethal. He probably got the best power of lightweight. He do. You know what I'm saying? He lethal. But his last fight against Isaac Pitbull Cruz, that fight, that was a great test for him. I mean, I think Tank won that fight. But if the power is not working, I want to see what else he can beat you with. I really want to see that. I mean, yeah, he can't keep knocking everybody out. You got to come with something else. Because, again, he's going to be under Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? If you don't add no finesse to your power, you know what I'm saying, beat him, you know what I'm saying, soundly and fundamentals, then you're going to be kind of like a one-trick pony. Because if somebody take your power away, what do you have? And speaking on that, that's why I got my problem with Deontay Wilder with. I mean, if somebody neutralizing your power, what else do you have? What else do you have to get the victory?
Yeah, I mean, I think I understand you're saying Wilder kind of to the extreme though, because Wilder really can't box. You know, Tank. Look, but the thing is, Tank can actually, he can scrap, he can box, he quick, he got fast hands. Yeah, he know how to switch speeds with his punches. He know how to pity pat you and set you up for the uppercuts. Like Tank's skilled as hell, and he got the dog in him. And I think his power forces you to fight him a different way. Just think about Teofimo power.
Yeah.
Lomachenko spent the first 6 rounds filling him out and fighting from the outside because he respected him. Then once he realized, like, oh, wait a minute, I can turn it up on this young boy, he turned it up on him. Like I told people, Teofimo was 1 round away from Vasily, I think, stopping him. Like that, around that 10th, 11th round, Teofimo was getting them eyes was getting swole. That reaction time wasn't the same either. Like what he really got Vasily with early was the fact that he was able to catch and turn with him. Every time Lomachenko's tried to switch angles on him, he was rattlesnake quick. He was able to catch him and counter. Yeah, but it got to a point where if you're gonna beat Vasily, you got to be in the best shape of your life. And because
Vasily got the best angles like I ever seen in my life, hands down. Like, cause it's like you don't know what angle is gonna be at. It's like he switched angles so quickly, you know what I'm saying, and you don't know where he's gonna be at. That's skill. That's skill. Cause I think as a kid he took tap dancing or something like that, and that's why he got that quick. Yeah, that's why he got that quick balance and quick angle. And it's difficult to game plan on, but Teofimo, to me, fought a perfect fight against Lomachenko. Yeah, he did. He really did. But Vasily was coming back like in the middle rounds. He was. I give you that. But Teofimo was just, okay, I'm not going to get rattled. I'm just going to keep going back to the basics. Now, against George Cambosis this past couple of months ago, I don't know what the hell was that. That was kind of like some Family Matters type shit. Like, he went from Stephon Urkel, whatever, then he went back to Urkel again. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I knew he trying to take him out. Like, look at him as a bum, but you can't look at bosses like that because bosses not coming to sightsee. I mean, That's their health that's in the ring with it. They gonna bring everything. They gonna bring everything, like the fire, they desire, their energy. They gonna bring everything in that ring. It's a gladiator sport. They're not just gonna be like, oh, I'm in the ring with Teofimo. No, they gonna come and take your damn neck off. That's what they come to do. And I think he took George Cambosis Jr. very likely. He really did. You know what I'm saying? Because if he just did the same strategy that he did with Lomachenko, this wouldn't even be a discussion. Teofimo still be undefeated. He still be champion, and everybody still coming after him. But no, he fought reckless that fight, and I'm so disgusted with him because I'm a fan of him. So
yeah,
I was very.
You know, I think Teofimo, he was and we can go back to that Richard Comey fight. He caught Richard Comey right at the right time because Comey was throwing his right too. It just happened that his landed. And like I tell people, even though Comey might be done now, Lomachenko washed Richard Comey. Oh, like Teofimo didn't wash Richard Comey. Vasily washed him. And it's like, okay, and I think that Teofimo loss is burning at Vasily right now. I think whoever he get in the ring with next, I know your boy, what's my man name that just got beat a couple weeks ago that talk all the time but fight every 3 or 4 years. Young dog.
Who?
Your boy the same dude Lomachenko washed.
I know you're talking about. Yeah, I know you're talking about. I can't think of. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
He's still talking about if he want him again. Like, you don't want Lomachenko right now.
Man, no. is that the fight you talking about when Lomachenko was dominated so bad he got the ref to like point it out, like stop it because he was beating his ass bad.
No, well, not the Richard Comey fight. I'm talking about what's my man name, dog? His name always slipped my mind, dude. Lomachenko beat him a few years ago.
What's about Gary Russell?
Gary Russell, yeah. But I'm like, dog, like Lomachenko beat you into a whole bunch of like when the speed go and all you doing is trying to fool the judges like you really landing, bro. Like Lomachenko pulled it up on him, and it's like I think what's different about Lomachenko was the fact that he touches you a lot. And you got to get used to him touch you. It's a lot of in and outs. It's a lot of change of angles. It's a lot of uppercuts combined with straight lefts and straight rights. And that's a lot to deal with. But I think Shakura at the weight that they fighting at, I think it'll work. It'll be a very, very interesting fight because
that is a good fight.
I think it'll bring the best out of Shakura too. Shakura been talking about it for a while too, about wanting them. So Devin Haney, I'm not so sure.
I think
want everybody too. So
he do. I mean, that's part of the business too. Bosses want people and all that. Yeah, Gary Russell, he did have a fight that he messed up his arm. I saw that. I finally saw that fight. I keep missing it, but I finally saw it. I mean, clearly he was hurt, but again, he's lacking activity, man. Like, he trained his brother too. His brother sucked to me. That's just my opinion. But yeah, Gary Russell. I mean, he does have blazing speed, but then it's just. I think his best fight was him. I think against Isaac Pitbull Cruz. That was his best fight, and he won that fight, by the way. But again, so yeah, Gary Russell he does got speed. He do. But Lomachenko last fight with Comey, you know what I'm saying? He dominated that fight every round, and when you gotta pull the referee, you know what I'm saying, tell him to stop this because I'm beating him too bad. You know what I'm saying? That's special right there. I think Lomachenko is hungry. I think he want his spot back. And, you know what I'm saying, he got to go through different obstacles to get his spot back because of the Lopez loss. So, yeah, nobody want Lomachenko right now. I think Lomachenko is back where he was at. So, yeah, and Tank is talking to him, but, again, you know his promoter is. So, he's going to get you. kind of like the right time when you like past your prime or when you're not the same no more. So Tank got to fight a bigger name this next fight, either Ryan Garcia or Lomachenko or Devin Haney. He need that name. I mean, he's a star, yes, because who he with, you know what I'm saying, his team, and what he does in the ring, but he need that name. He need it. He need that if you want to, you know what I'm saying, follow his mentor steps. So, yeah, he do need that name. Now, what I want to talk to you about again, since it's Super Bowl weekend, you know what I'm saying, what will be a Super Bowl type of matchup? Any class, will be a Super Bowl matchup that you want to see right now? Let me know that. What's your thoughts?
Aside from the normal, which is Spence and Crawford, I think I wouldn't mind seeing Boots and Crawford.
Boots and Crawford? Ooh,
like, I wouldn't mind seeing that, man, because, like, Boots a killer, man. I mean, Boots, I mean, hold on, I mean, Crawford a killer. Crawford a killer for sure. And I think his ability to make adjustments, his ring IQ, the fact that he can pop that jab from any angle he need to, he can turn you, he got the stamina. It's the angles that he gets you at. It's the angles that he gets you at too. And you know, Boots a strong boy, man. I follow him and the way he trained with his brothers and everything. Like they old school trainers. These dudes is upside down push-ups. They hitting tires. They serious about that work ethic. They serious about building a strong, tough fighter with callous.
That's that Philly. That's that Philly spirit. Yes.
You know, like the way Boots can go to the body too, and Boots can turn you too. I think him and Crawford is one of those fights too. I would like to see Boots fight Ortiz, but if we talking about Super Bowl type fights right now, that's that. Definitely that.
Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Well, I'm not gonna name the obvious because you kind of said it already, Spence, but whatever. It's two fights I think should be Super Bowl caliber. One is heavyweight and one is lightweight. I'm gonna start with the heavyweight. The heavyweight, I want to see an undisputed champion heavyweight. It hasn't been done since 1999 when Lennox Lewis beat Evander Holyfield. It haven't been done. I want to see Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk for all the marbles. Whoever wins that fight get all the belts. They'd be undisputed. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. It's been too damn long, but not for a heavyweight champion not being heavyweight champion of all the belts. That's one of the fights. And the second fight is going to be lightweight. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Shakura Stevenson versus Tank. I want to see that. Yes.
Ooh,
I want to see that. And two different styles. Because, again, we said it. Shakura Stevenson is special. Like, you know what I'm saying? He can beat you in any kind of way. Now, Tank, he does got the power. He got speed. He can box too. But I think Shakura Stevenson, he just it. You know what I'm saying? He got that it factor. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got the stance. He can fight you either way. He kind of remind me of Marvin Hagler. When we switch styles, he go to orthodox, then he go to southpaw. He remind me of Sugar, you know what I'm saying, with the ring discipline. I mean, he just different kind of people he reminds me of, and can give anybody trouble in that division. Anybody. Put anybody up, he would give him trouble. So that would be my Super Bowl type of fights. You know what I'm saying? An undisputed heavyweight champion. Again, haven't been done since 1999. And Tank versus Shakura Stevenson. that's the Super Bowl fights I want to see in the boxing world.
Well, first, I think Usyk and Fury. Roy Jones said, "Don't nobody want to see that shit." I do. Well,
I do too.
Well, listen. Roy point was this. I'ma love it. We all like the boxing purists. We all gonna love it. The fans not gonna love it. Like that's too much skill in the ring and hit and move, this and that. Although I think Usyk come from that same Lomachenko training where angles, moving, stay on your toes, fight from the outside, be rangy, tap the guy, work him, touch him up.
Yeah.
I don't mind seeing it. But do the boxing fans, I mean, like, do the casual fans, look, I'm gonna say this, even casual fans know Errol Spence name and Terence Crawford name.
Yeah.
Do the casual boxing fan, aside from, they know Tyson Fury name from him fighting Wilder.
Mm-hmm.
And Usyk may be the greatest cruiserweight of all time, and the casual boxing fan don't even know his name, which is ridiculous.
Usyk is the greatest cruiserweight. Him and Evander Holyfield. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, but the casual boxing fan, like, is that fight that big of a draw?
I see what you're saying. You more like, okay, like star power, like, you know, the Floyds and the Mike Tyson and the Sugars and the Ali's, like that type, like star power. These guys not like star power. To me, the only star. And he ain't close to them, but he in the same tier, kinda, is Tyson Fury because one, he talks a lot of shit and backs it up. You know, he got that personality, correct. I mean, even though you're from over there across the water, he still bring that personality. He bring that personality. And you know what I'm saying? That's the only one I see. And Spence and Bud, they don't do a lot of talking. They let the skills do the work. They like the Marvin Haglers, you know what I'm saying? Not really attractive in the public eye, but they are so skilled. You know what I'm saying? They old school. They old school as hell. And it's kind of like a harder draw. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like us, yes, that's our Super Bowl. That's our everything. That's our Errol Spence and Bud. That's our Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hearns at 81. That's ours. That's our Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier, Thriller Manila, and their trilogy. That's our shit. But boxing politics and the splits and who go get this person, who go get that, and all that stuff. That's why I love 80s boxing. That's why I love 70s boxing, because it wasn't about that. It was about who's the next guy. If the next guy coming, I want him. That's it's no who gonna get the split and all that stuff like that. Who gonna get the gate, pay-per-view issues and all like that. It was just who the best. That's how I like 70s and 80s. And somewhat the 90s too. You know what I'm saying? It's not now, like you said it earlier, that they don't want to lose that zero. You know what I'm saying? They scared. They're scared to lose it. You know what I'm saying? So, and come with that risk. But you gotta have that spirit. We in the gladiator sport. They following the Mayweather blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Fighting different kind of people. I'm not taking no credit from Floyd. I'm not like the biggest fan. I think he's the best defensive fighter of all time. He is. But in my opinion, he kind of like fought people kind of like past their prime, and you know what I'm saying? He got in the ring with him, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? His defense is incredible, very incredible. But I'm just not a fan of him. And people following that blueprint, they look at that boxing as a business, which it is. It is a business. But also, they leaving out the toughness part, that you just putting everything on the line. That's why I watch old school boxing. So,
well, I'm gonna ask you this: as far as Usyk and Fury, if that did happen, who would you favor in that fight?
Ooh, that is
because Usyk is way light years more skilled than Wilder. So,
that is tough. That is super. Okay. Fury is bigger, taller. He's 6'9", 260, 70, whatever how much he weighs. He was 277 against Wilder this past October. Usyk is 6'2". He's barely a heavyweight, barely. But his advantage is he can move. You know what I'm saying? He got his angles is crazy. But also Fury is hard to hit. At 6'9", 270, and Usyk is already short. So he got to go in to do his damage. He has to, because Fury is a mover. And it's amazing that he moved at that size. I was shocked, because I was like, when he first fought Wilder, I was like, man, Wilder got this. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at the fight against the Klitschko, in the Klitschko fight, I looked at that. That was the most slowest fight I ever seen in my life. It was kind of like two Air Gordons is in the ring. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was so slow. I'm like, okay, yeah, Fury dominated, but it was slow to look at. So I'm like, man, Wilder gonna beat this guy, man, and Wilder need to go at Joshua, whatever. But when I saw the first Fury and Wilder fight, I looked like, no, this not the same fighter. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at. He's moving, ducking his head, bringing it out, moving angles and this and that, and making Wilder just looking real silly that he is, because he can't box. He ain't got nothing in the arsenal, and it made him look silly. Now, he did catch him in the 12, but again, his moving is so incredible, like, for that size. Mm-hmm. I can't really pick a definitive winner like on that, because they both are skilled. If I had the edge, maybe Fury, just a little bit. But again, Usyk is so skilled, man. If he was just like maybe 2 inches taller, 2 inches, and he was like 6'4", 6'5", I would give him maybe more of the edge. But he's 6'2", and 6'9". So I've got to pick Fury on that one.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight. That's a lot of weight to have leaning on you for an entire fight too.
Exactly. That's why Wilder gained some more weight, because you know Fury's gonna lean on him, and when you lean on, when a 6'9", 270 plus leaning on you all day, it would drain the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, you saw the third fight. It was the most sloppy fight I ever seen, but still, I mean, you saw that. So now I got my football guy here. You know what I'm saying? You the expert on this. Now, the big game is tomorrow. Super Bowl 57?
56.
56.
Yep.
56. In LA, we have LA Rams, Cincinnati Bengals. I know when we talked last week, you said you're not going to get a prediction, but now I think you figured it out this time, though. I know I know you got a decision now. I'm asking a football expert like yourself, who do you got and why?
I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh, that's bold.
It ain't too bold, because majority of the money in Vegas coming in right now in Cincinnati, which I kind of expected. I mean, people like to take the underdog in the Super Bowl too.
Yeah.
But I mean, to get to the game though, I'm gonna say this. I wouldn't be shocked at all, given the fact that the Rams are the more veteran later team. They're the more experienced team, head coach wise. They say just overall, if you go through that entire roster, those players have tons of playoff experience, and they're playing at home. I wouldn't be shocked if they won at all. I understand why they're the favorites. Thing is this: people keep leaning on that Tennessee game from a month ago when Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times. They still managed to win that game. That game was an anomaly. Now, Burrow was sacked a lot during the regular season, but the Raiders didn't get to him that often. The Chiefs only got to him once a couple weeks ago. If you look at it for what it is, the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Rams have pretty much one thing in common that Tennessee didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They all like to pretty much rush 3, maybe rush 4, and drop majority of the guys in the coverage. Tennessee didn't do that. The reason the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line had so many problems with Tennessee was the fact that Tennessee called a lot of stunts. They ran a lot of odd man fronts, a lot of odd blitzes. They were sending 5, 6 guys at Burrow consistently. Mm-hmm. So when you constantly putting that type of pressure on the offensive line, you should expect that, especially an offensive line that's already beat up. You look at Cincinnati, they don't call a lot of 12-man personnel, 13-man personnel where they utilize the extra tight ends. Mm-hmm. So I think you saw what happened in the Kansas City game. Now, Kansas City did jump out on them early, but once you realize that Kansas City, that second half, Kansas City kind of resorted back to what they used to be during the regular season. We're going to keep forcing the issue. Instead of taking what Cincinnati was giving them, they kept trying to force the ball downfield. Boom, big time turnover, game over in overtime. Yeah. So I don't think the Rams are going to be able to get to Burrow the way everybody thinks, given the fact that the Rams, they do most of their damage rushing Aaron Donald in the middle of that defensive line. Right. And they like to drop a bunch of guys in the coverage. So if you're not going to really blitz Burrow consistently and you're going to drop guys in the coverage, one or two things is going to happen. Either Joe Mixon going to have 25 carries for 145 against that type of defense, or Joe Burrow is going to complete 70% of his throws. He's going to complete a bunch of throws to Jamar Chase short, and they just going to matriculate the ball downfield on the Rams and just eat up the clock. Because if you compare those two teams, the Rams are extremely explosive offensively, especially mainly through the air. But the Bengals have more balance. And they have no issue with handing Joe Mixon the ball 20 to 25 times. Or if need be, Joe Burrow can work out the play action, or they can just let Joe throw the ball 35, 36 times, depending on what's going on. And if the Rams depending on just dropping 6 guys in the coverage, okay, well, you got Boyd out there, you got T. Higgins, you got Jamar Chase, you got a very cerebral quarterback, a very accurate quarterback. You got one of the best running backs in football in the backfield. Right. And if you look at the defense, Cincinnati's defense, they've given up 19 points in the second half of 3 playoff games.
Yeah, fast.
They make adjustments. Jesse Bates got paid last year, had a an up and down season. Regular season, Jesse Bates he's played like probably the best safety in football, going back to maybe week 16, week 17, all the way through now. He's back to being the ball hawk that he is. They can run a lot of cover 3. Jesse is good enough to pretty much lock down everything on the back end. I think he's going to be a huge key because, the Rams got a lot of people. They got Odell out there. They got Cooper Kupp out there. Higbee won't be there. He's on IR.
That's key. That's a key. Yeah. That's a blow for the Rams. That is a blow. Yeah. But we'll see.
I think everything points towards this being the Rams Super Bowl, but you can also counter that. When you look at Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati. What do they got to lose? They would think about it. The Raiders were supposed to be too scrappy for them. That didn't happen. Bengals won. Titans were supposed to be too physical for him, and Derrick Henry was supposed to run for 200 yards on him. They held Derrick Henry to 60 yards, held him well under 100.
Yeah.
They forced Tannehill into 3 turnovers. That didn't happen. Sent Tennessee home. Kansas City was supposed to throw the ball all over the field on them. Chris Jones was supposed to have 4.5 sacks. That didn't happen. Kansas City went home. I just think it's Cincinnati's time right now, and I don't think it's going to – people we throw that phrase around a lot. We throw it around with Shakura Stevenson, but I think it's Cincinnati's time right now. And even if we look at the quarterback matchup, now we feel the way we feel about Stafford. I think Stafford is a way better player at the age that he's at now than where he was when we had him. At 25, 26 years old, he's a way better player right now. He's in a way better situation.
Right.
But is it far-fetched that Stafford could go out there tomorrow and have an odd game? I don't think he's going to have a bad game. I think he's going to have a very good game. But is it possible that at some point in time he could throw that interception, or he could have that fumble or that brain fart that kind of like cost them the game?
Ooh,
I don't think it's that far-fetched.
That's the thing with gunslingers. I mean, you know, Stafford is a gunslinger. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he can make the throws, but he can make the brain fart turnovers too, the fumbles and the bad turnovers too at the worst times. So me, okay. Cincinnati, I like underdogs. I do. It's just something about them because, I mean, I like the unexpected people. Like, nobody expect Cincinnati Bengals to be in this position. Me or you. We ain't expect this.
Huh.
But they here.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Well,
wait. The beginning of the season.
No, not the beginning of the season, but before the playoffs started, my Super Bowl pick was Tampa Bay and Cincinnati. Now, Tampa Bay ended up losing to the Rams, of course.
Yeah.
But I had Cincinnati going. I just felt Cincinnati. People can't get past the helmet in the organization. Cincinnati was a good team. And I said all season, they were the best team. They were the most consistent team. And they were the best team in the entire AFC. Now, we look at Kansas City. Kansas City had that rough patch where they lost, 6 straight or whatever. The offense couldn't. The offense, right after that Philadelphia loss. It's like right after the Philadelphia win. They went to the East Coast, beat the brakes off Philadelphia, and then things kind of like spiraled out of control. And then they eventually got things back on track. But think about it. Baltimore was inconsistent all season. The Raiders were inconsistent all season. Buffalo would show up some weeks, then wouldn't show up next. Who else? Tennessee. They lost Derrick Henry for half of the season. Ryan Tannehill was their starting quarterback. That says enough. A.J. Brown couldn't stay healthy. Julio Jones couldn't stay healthy. So if you looked at it for what it was, they had the most consistent quarterback all season. They had the most consistent running game all season, the most consistent passing game, and they were number 5 in the league stopping the run. People just didn't want to understand or want to accept the fact that Cincinnati just might be good. Look, it's the equivalent of, let's say the Lions go out next season and win 10 games or win 11 games. Nobody's going to believe that. People are going to continue to pick against the Lions in the wild card round. They're going to pick against the Lions in the divisional round. They're going to pick against the Lions in the NFC Championship.
Right.
With good reason. Because we suck.
I mean, history,
if we just jumped up next season and bit everybody in the ass, nobody would believe it.
I mean, okay, speaking on that, before I get to my predictions and what I think about the matchup, now people are starting to not fully believe, but they believe a little bit because what the Lions are doing, I love to put them in there because that's my we already know how I feel about the Lions. I mean, diehard fan. And I know the other day you was very upset about the Detroit Rams shirts and all that. I'm upset too. I'm upset too. You know what I'm saying? I'm very upset. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to see that. If I see anybody in my face with that bullshit, I'm going to smack the shit out of them because I don't care. Like I said it on your show, I don't care if Stafford wins. That don't got shit to do with Detroit Lions. That don't got nothing to do with it. We should root for Stafford because he's a former Lion. But is he a Lion? No. That's what they were talking about with sports. They was on, and I love it with sports too. I love all their shows, whatever, all their segments, whatever. Talking about, we should root for Stafford and all that. I'll be rooting for him and this and that. No. I mean, if he gets it, cool. That's for him. It ain't got shit to do with the city of Detroit. This shouldn't even be a topic. He's a LA Rams and we Detroit fans. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's period. So, but again, speaking on Lions, whatever, they starting to believe a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because what Dan Campbell is doing, the record ain't gonna show for it, but they going out each game except the Philly game. You know what I'm saying? They playing their ass off with practice squad players. That's what I want to see. Imagine that team got talent. It'd be a different case. You know what I'm saying? But again, they starting to believe a little bit. And I'm a believer. I see the vision. I know what they're trying to do. They want to be the San Francisco 49ers. They want to be Tennessee. They want to run the ball and, you know what I'm saying, dink and dunk and get the tight end involved and all that stuff. That's what they want to do. I don't mind that. To be TOP, time of possession. They want to be that. I don't mind that. If he gets the wins.
And this is Undisputed Spit. You dig?
I'd buy that for $1.